Josh Grossman says that when he walked the halls of Lawrence Park Collegiate as a teen, the soundtrack was provided by Radiohead, especially the British rock group's acclaimed album OK Computer, because it's so dense sonically. Grossman's now a big band leader, but he hasn't left old favorites behind. He'll share his love of the albums Karma Police and No Surprises and more while leading his 18-member Toronto Jazz Orchestra at the Rex on July 1st. Toronto Jazz Orchestra band leader Josh Grossman, courtesy Toronto Jazz Festival, his ensemble has already presented its jazz version of every song on OK Computer, arranged by Canadian composers, in a December concert at the Rex which had crowds lined up to get in. Many in the audience had never been to a jazz concert before, Grossman said, but they were introduced to the genre because Radiohead gave them an entree into the music. Singer Alex Samaras will not sound like Frank Sinatra, assures Grossman, who knows not all jazz covers work. He puts all his jazz training into how he interprets the songs. The Radiohead Jazz Project is just part of the TD Toronto Jazz Festival, of which Grossman is artistic director. The fest, begun in 1987, runs for 10 days beginning June 22, and this year jazz covers of rock, pop and folk songs are a signature of the event. Article continued below. Covers help performers expand their audience reach or, in Betty Levette's case, give an artist new great stories to tell, though the 72-year-old argues that jazz singers like herself do not do covers. We do interpretations. Most recently, the Michigan native has turned to Bob Dylan's poetry for source material in her new album Things Have Changed, which has garnered rave reviews. Her defiant, dangerous vocals take any lover-like sentiments out of Dylan's weary, "It ain't me babe," she says, to reflect just what is being said. Those lyrics are quite cold, says Levette, performing June 25 at Corner Hall. They'd make somebody jump off the ledge. Dylan's prose and stories represented fertile ground for her creativity, she says. Lavette, who has been performing since was a teen, sass and panache she puts into Dylan's songs, she says, explaining, he's a well-spoken white man. I'm an angry black woman. Toronto's Elise Legros discovered a treasure trove of material in the catalog of Chicago's chess label which included R. Singer felt the greater variety, rather than the homogeneous Motown sound, gave me a broad pool to choose from, for her new album Playing Chess, from which she will sing at her June 26 concert at Trinity Street. Paul Center. One of Legros' choices is Bo Diddley's Who Do You Love, which she slows down. I'm heavily influenced by Chez's melodic choices. When covering Diddley, she recalled a photograph of him sitting on a motorcycle, wearing cowboy boots, and, I picture myself stepping into his big boots to sing this song. She removes the wild energy from Chuck Berry's You Never Can Tell, so the lyrics take center stage. She says, they're poetry, but some songs are such perfection they should be left alone, says Legros, citing Etta James's, At Last, These Are Special. There are a lot of bad covers. Article continued. Bella adding jazz flavors to pop songs can attract mockery. Pop singer Fergie generated a few smirks when she sang the U.S. national anthem slow jazz style before this year's NBA All-Star Game, with comedian Jimmy Kimmel joking that maybe songwriter Francis Scott Key wanted it to be sexy. And sometime the mockery is the singer's intent. Think of SCTV's Rick Moranis and crooning alter ego Tom Monroe, torturing pop songs such as The Vapors. 1980, turning Japanese. And of course there's William Shatner's seated, smoking jazzification of Elton John's Rocket Man at the 1978 Science Fiction Film Awards, presumably sincerely meant, but much derided and it itself covered by Family Guy's baby Stewie Griffin, in a meticulous animated recreation including the stool and cigarette. A sincere jazz artist is, naturally, on safer ground reinterpreting old jazz. Gregory Porter's hit tribute album Nat King Cole and Me, which fans will hear some of at his sold-out June 25 concert at the Elgin Theatre, explores Porter's childhood wish that Cole could be his father, as his musically inclined mother often told the California-raised Porter he sounded like the late crooner. Natalie Cole, Nat's daughter, heard Porter's covers and gave him her blessing, he says. She said, "Go ahead. I told her." Unforgettable, transformed by studio engineers into a smash hit duet between the father and daughter after his death, was untouchable. Natalie Cole herself died in 2015. Classical guitarist Leona Boyd once opened on tour for Gordon Lightfoot, and it's with his blessing that she has reworked his lyrics, added her own, and created a new work titled Lightfoot. It's part of her tribute to Yorkville in the 60s on June 23, when she'll joined by other musicians at the Church of the Redeemer. As a teenager she was immersed in classical studies, although her parents took her to see the Yorkville scene of flowers and beads and the smell of marijuana, she says. Now she's returning decades later to perform in folksy, classical style as the Jazz Festival gives a nod to the city's original music scene. TD Toronto Jazz Festival is, for the second year, being held in Yorkville area venues including Corner Hall, Heliconian Hall and the Church of the Redeemer. Headliners include Seal, Alison Krauss, Herbie Hancock and Leona Boyd. See torontojazz.com for details.